Hello everybody. I have a little video for you today. It's just a quick tag and envelope that I made to send off for some happy mail. And to make this tag, I took a piece of the Recollections cardstock that I always use because I wanted it in white. Well, it's not so much that I wanted it in white. I just like that paper for gel printing. So I just cut out the shape of a tag from the white cardstock. And I'm using my small 3x5 gel press printing plate, and you can tell by the looks of it that this was done before I cleaned my plates. So there I just took some Indian yellow hue golden paints, and look, see how dirty my plate is? It won't even stick to the acrylic journaling block. That's how much paint was on the other side of it. But this is why I don't like cleaning my plates. You see that blue on the tag? That is from previous layers. And I love that look. Like, you can't achieve that by cleaning your plate. I would have to do multiple prints and then gel print on what it is that I want the layers on. So there I just showed you I had a caramel texture plate. And I did write it down. Abstract Flowers, that's what it's called. And it was by Brigitte Koopsen, or Brigitte. I don't think there's a J or G sound in her name. Those texture plates are really pretty, but it didn't really show up on my tag. And it was because of the colors I used. I think you can, if I remember correctly, I think you can see it in spots, like faintly. And that is cadmium yellow medium hue that I'm using. And it too is a golden paint. Can't really remember what my purpose in doing this was. It's been a while since I made the tag. I think it was just to remove some of the paint because I had too much on it. Ooh, see? I love that grungy bits. That is what makes me happy when gel printing. So that is what I'm trying to do here, is get all those grungy layers of paint onto my tag. So I just very lightly put some paint on the gel plate, just enough to get the previous layers wet. And I rub pretty hard when I'm like on the paper trying to get those layers off. Love it. Okay, this is a Crafter's Workshop stencil, and it is by Art by Marlene, and it's called Distress Details. And I'm just taking some DecoArt turquoise paint. I like the pop of turquoise against the yellow. And it took more than one layer of paint for it to really show up on top of the yellow. I'm just taking what paint is left and going around the edge of the tag. I don't really like seeing the white edge on the tag or piece of paper or whatever it is I'm journaling on. I don't like things looking too clean. This is another Crafters Workshop stencil, and it is called Texture Plate. And this is another one. Oh, it was. And it's gone. It does come back though. I'm just taking some, again, Deco Art paint, this time in pink neon. And I'm taking one of my handmade stamps that was in another video of mine. I'm telling you, I might have to carve these out of rubber if these stop working at some point. Looking at it now, I could have stopped here and I would have liked the background on the tag. Okay, so here's the stencil again. Crafters Workshop Texture Plate, and it was designed by Art by Marlene. And I'm just taking some black Liquitex paint and a makeup sponge, and I'm going to do those little scallops. I couldn't think of the name at the moment. My brain was on pause. When I add a color to whatever it is I am doing, I like to add it in more than one spot. And usually it's 3, sometimes it might be 5, or it's usually an odd number anyway. So I didn't choose the exact same design to add 3 times, but I did add the black paint 3 times. And now I am taking that black paint and also going around the tag with it. Black paint just makes me happy. I'm not happy until there's black and white on it somewhere. So this is just a piece of vellum that I had stamped on. I have a few sheets where I just took some favorite images and stamped it on there with black archival ink. And then some of the other papers are just my writing. I just found something that I liked and wrote it out with a black Posca pen. And these stamped images here are from Robin Marie Smith. So as you can see, I just took my tag to the sewing machine and I went around the tag, and that also adhered the vellum to the tag. And now I'm taking some images from Crowboat Studio. No, Mischief Circus. I always want to call the website Crowboat Studio, but the website is Mischief Circus. So I guess this tag combines two of my favorite things, gel printing and collage. I find the hardest or most annoying thing about collaging is gluing. It is one of my least favorite things to do. I'm not a fan of cutting things out either. But gluing is, yeah, not a favorite. I just took a quote from the Tim Holtz small talk stickers, I think it is, the snarky ones. I'll have to wait for a picture at the end to tell you what it says because I can't remember at the moment. It's been a while, not a long time, but it's been probably a couple weeks or more since I've done this tag, and it's already been mailed off, so I can't. Oh, I don't know if I can read it. Oh yeah, she said that's a lot of money to spend on crafts, and I knew we couldn't be friends. Yep, that would be about it. That would do it for me. You're not going to shame me about my art supplies. So I take this to the sewing machine as well and just go over the very ends of the tag just so I didn't have to worry about it coming off. And now I'm going to make an envelope for my tag. And the size of the tag, there was none of the measurements on the tool for making the envelopes matched what it was I needed. So I kind of just, I don't know, I took the biggest one there was and went from there trying to, like the first page, like I took the yellow paper because I knew what I did wasn't going to work, but basically I was doing it to see what it was exactly that wasn't going to work and where I needed it to be, if that makes sense. Like I knew this wasn't going to be right, but I had to see how wrong it was in order to make the one that I needed right. I hope that made sense. I know what I'm trying to say. I just can't say it. Oh boy. So as you can even see here, like nothing is lining up. Nothing looks right. But, you know. Yeah, that's one messed up envelope right there. I don't even think I followed the directions for whatever size it was I was doing properly. So as you can see, that notch on the left is great for the one side, and the bottom notch on the right is good for it the other way. By screwing up, I know what it is I need to do to make it right. Just trust me. I guess I didn't have to leave this part in the video, but I don't know, maybe somehow it'll help watching me struggle and trying to figure this out. Maybe it'll help you guys somehow. I don't know. I left it in here anyways. Sometimes it's just nice knowing that other people screw up too, and that the finished product that they show, it's not like they just got there easy. Sometimes it takes a lot of work. Okay, so this is the piece of paper that I'm actually going to use for my envelope. So I cut the piece of cardstock down to 11 by 11. And now I'm just comparing it to the mess up to see where it is I need to make my notches and score lines. So I line it up at 3 3/4 and I make my notch and I flip it. I don't turn the paper, which is usually what they tell you to do. I just flipped it and did it 3 3/4 on both corners there. And then I did my score lines. And where it was so long, I had to flip it to get to the other end of it to score it. If I'm making it sound confusing, just rewind, go back, play it again, play it a couple times. Or maybe I'm not being as confusing as I think I am. So the long ends, those flaps, they're going to be too long, and I know that, but I didn't know what to cut it down to, and I really didn't want to try to figure it out. I probably could have, but yeah, I didn't want to. I thought it was just easier to cut off what I didn't need, because the one side you're not even going to see, and the other one, I wasn't too worried about it looking perfect. Like, it doesn't look like a mess when it's done. I was happy with it. And it's the envelope. It's going to go in the trash. I haven't heard if the person has received it yet or not. I haven't been messaged on Instagram, so I don't know if it's made it to her yet. I think it's only, I don't even know if it's been a week yet. And it was going to the States, and I live in Canada, so it could take a little bit. Just using my corner punch to round off the corners. I just think it looks prettier. I'm just making sure that my tag fits in there after all of that. And my tag is not very bulky at all. Like, it's pretty much flat. So there's no problems with it. I'm going to use double-sided sticky tape to glue it down. Regular glue probably would have been fine, but I don't know. I was just nervous, so I'd rather be safe than sorry. Like, I wouldn't want it to fall apart and the person receives it and it's just a big mess. So double-sided sticky tape, you're pretty safe when you get the good stuff. That's another thing too. I use my good stuff. It's not like dollar store or anything like that. I try to only use like double-sided sticky tape from, actually I haven't even bought it anymore, because a friend of mine, like back when we used to scrapbook, she was showing me how some of her old stuff, where she had used the dollar store brands of the double-sided sticky tape, you could see it yellowing. So once I saw that, I stopped using it unless it was going to be something that was just going to end up in the trash. But the big brand stuff, like, you know, that's acid free, that shouldn't yellow. I would hope not anyway. I'm just adding some sari ribbon in the hole. And again, it's only one piece and there's plenty of room in the envelope that it'll still fit fine. And again, I'll leave links below the video for all the products that I used. Like, I won't link to the specific images, but I'll link to Mischief Circus. And the sari ribbon, I will link to where I got it on Amazon, and then you can choose what colors that you want and things like that. Now for the cardstock, I don't have a link because I just got it at my craft store here in town at Michael's. So I mean, you know, you can use whatever cardstock you want, or you can use an already made tag, like the Diane Reevely ones, the ones from Ranger. You could just use one of her large ones. I think the tag that I made may be the same size as her large tag. Again, I can't remember because I don't have the tag in front of me and I don't know the measurements that I made it. But I do believe it's the same size as her large tags. Just taking some washi tape, and again, I don't have any links for washi tapes. Like I said in a previous video, I mean, it doesn't, like, I don't have any packaging for my washing tapes anymore. They're just all out loose. So I don't know who made it or how long ago it was I got it. I have no information on my washies. When I was done with my envelope, I went over the entire thing with Mod Podge as well. Because washi tape, I mean, you can't, I'm sorry for all those companies that make washi tape, but you cannot be guaranteed that it's going to stay down. That's one thing I do find about washi tape. It will come up. It's just a matter of time. So you do need to glue it for it to be permanent. In my experience anyways. Maybe that has to do with temperatures here or something. I don't know, but I mean, I don't live anywhere that's that hot. I mean, it does get hot here in the summertime, but it's not hot all year round. So always, for me anyway, to be on the safe side, if I want it to be permanent, I usually glue it down. Especially where this was going to be traveling. There was going to be lots of moving around and getting tossed around, so I glued it all down. I usually don't post videos until the end of the week, like Thursday or Friday, but I was feeling guilty because my last video was just like cleaning plates. I didn't make anything. So I felt like you guys deserved a video. I would love to be able to put out 2 a week, but that's not always possible. I mean, some weeks I could probably do it, but not every week. Unfortunately, I have to work. And talk to my husband about that one. So this is just some tissue paper that I had gel printed on. And I still haven't made more. But I do need to, because I like having that stuff around. It comes in handy. So I'm not going to decorate the envelope too fancy. I'm just adding a little bit so it's not too plain. Now I'm just using scraps that are lying around. It's funny, when I took it to the post office, the lady felt bad when she had to put a sticker on it. She didn't want to cover it up. I apologize. I'm not very talkative today. Usually I can find things to chit-chat about during the videos, but I don't know. I'm quiet this week. Been tired, so guess that makes me a little less talkative. I think next week hubby and I are going to be off, and I think he is planning on trying to get my doors finished for upstairs for my new room. So I don't think I'll be moving stuff upstairs next week. Like, I would love to think that that would start, but I think that would be getting a bit too excited on my part. So I'm just going to think that he's only going to mostly get the doors finished. I don't even know if they'll get put up next week. I don't want to get excited. Because I do have a tendency to do that. I get too excited, and then I'm so excited I become impatient because I'm so excited I want it to happen now. And, you know, that can't always happen, so I'm just trying to not think about it too much. Because I would have loved to have been upstairs like last week or the week before. But it takes time because my husband works a lot more than I do. So he doesn't have as much time to be working on it. And plus, even what he is doing, it takes time because he has to glue up the pieces and has to wait for that to dry. And there's lots of steps to it, more than I even know about. So it all takes time, but it is going to look awesome when it is done. The doors, they're going to be beautiful. I just know it. Everything he makes is beautiful, so it's going to be exciting. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. So that is it for my tag and my envelope. And yeah, that's it. So, thanks so much, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will try to get another one ready for you sometime this weekend. Bye!